Hello, fellow YouTubers. Well, I had a pretty fun awakening. Down here we had heard white smoke coming from the cabin that I was sleeping in, and we couldn't figure out what the issue was. We had went poking around this brand new Yanmar. It only had 4,000 miles on it, or 4 hours on it, when we picked the boat up, which is pretty good. The only issue was that this exhaust flange right here had broken off and then just rattled itself and kept rattling itself while it was wrapped by that stuff. Upon that stuff being wrapped, when that exhaust flange came loose, we had an issue. And we had to fix the issue. Hang on. I'm trying to situate the light there. I currently have you propped up on my gloves. So right now I'm tightening the exhaust bolts, or the outtake, or whatever you want to call it. Currently tightening these bolts that go into the engine itself. This is the first time I've actually ever touched a diesel. Never touched one in my entire life, except for to pull mine out of the Ranger, because it was undoubtedly underwater for a couple of years. So here we are with the initial hookup to see if it works. The big main hose, get that up on there tight. Mainly with all your engines, I'm a motorcycle mechanic myself, so diesel is the first, but they all have the same principles. Make sure everything is tight. Do not take and be like, oh, this nut or bolt has to be a certain amount of tightness or looseness so that it doesn't come off and it doesn't break later on. I've heard that half a dozen times. I actually bought a truck that blew up on me a week after I got it from a man of that product. He said, oh yeah, it's loose just to keep from breaking those rubber grommets. I'm like, and half of the nuts and bolts that held up the lift kit, actually, which was 13-inch lift, all came loose and fell off interchangeably. Luckily, nobody died in that subject. That's what I come across a lot with these buyers and resellers. They buy it to fix it up and sell it, and they don't do it right. They say, oh yeah, you know, I did this, I did that, I did this with the Ranger. You didn't do anything. You rednecked a couple things together just to get it to work, and that was it. Don't be that person. Because out here, it's your life. It's your crew's life. Dealing with things like this. If this would have been a gas motor, that exhaust could have blown up. Could have hurt a lot of people. We'll all have families at home. We'll all have kids that they want to take to school again. Don't be that guy. Don't bring yourself to do the job half-assed. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna come together. And it could have cost us our life in that hurricane. Yes, right now we're still being chased by Gamma in the middle of fixing this engine. Making sure everything is put together correctly and beautifully, and holding it all together. But the good news is we have mechanics wire from our most recent job of fixing things. But with the intake, if you guys were following, about the transmission drive line messing up on the shaft, and they didn't put mechanics wire on it. Well, there's a little bit of good news there. We have plenty of mechanics wire now. Like, I have a whole pile of pieces like this when I was cutting off that fiberglass setup there. And thankfully, if my grandmother is watching, I called her just before asking her the white smoke issue, because there was white smoke coming out. With my portrayment of engines, that would be an intake or outtake leak, because it was misfiring. I couldn't figure out what was going on. Heard a strange noise and tried to come up with a solution. Upon coming down here, I took this screwdriver right here and I poked it through the fiberglass, and it went all the way through, like, to the other end of the tube. I said, well, it's not very good. Let's figure out what is going on there that we can fix and take the problem and create a solution. So we shut it down at a local marina. Thank God the people here, they said, you need fuel? We said, no, our engine is about to blow up. They were like, well, here's a dock over here, go right ahead and pull in there, and you can take as much time as you need to get yourself back on the water. So here we are, complete. Good to go. I took in, always around your intakes, there's going to be little knickknacks, like your drive line here. This goes down and connects to your transmission, and is your forward and reverse. You don't want that to be against your exhaust right there. Not good. So we pulled it back. The reason being is always the dumb things that happen. This overheats, snaps the cable, and you're pulling into a marina, for instance, and you need reverse. Your reverse burnt off by the exhaust. So what this piece is, for you guys that don't know, this is your exhaust tube that goes down and out the back into a little plastic baffle system that filtrates it and all that goody stuff. This is your water intake. This is where your water pumps into your exhaust and then flows down this tube and out the back. This is the back of the engine. This is your exhaust system coming out of that and into your whole system. This is your intake. This is kind of like your carburetor filter. That always needs to be clean and clear, nothing in the way of this, because anything in the way of this, you don't get oxygen to your engine. Your oxygen does not get fuel. And your fuel does not get oxygen, and it cannot burn. Also, right here, we have this little string. You have to make sure that all these little things that could mess everything up go away. Because it's little things like that little guy right there, that's the one I had to fix yesterday. I don't know if you can see it or not. It is where the transmission connects to the drive shaft, which connects back into the propeller system. All of these wires here, you have to ensure that those are clear and away from everything. And we are good to go. Alrighty guys, I will see you later.